The Philadelphia Eagles make history. We're going to talk about that. Jalen Hurts, Devonta Smith, Nick Sirianni, and we're talking about joint practice. All that more coming up next.
The following announcement has been paid for by
the ENN Podcast.
He has a good energy, you guys.
Yeah. Can you believe it? Can
Sports.
you feel it? Can you feel that excitement?
The merchandise, wearing the hats.
Chris Wild here live from Lincoln Financial.
And I'm telling you, if you let Eli Manning walk into that stadium,
Music.
Wow.
man, again, and I hate to do this again, but these are goosebumps.
Whoa!
And more.
What's his next book gonna be called? Spineless?
Mike.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the ENN Podcast, here live from bar 4133. I am the good brother of Broad Street, the 2020 Big League Fantasy Football Champion, and the reigning Heritage Champion of Professional Wrestling, professional wrestler Chris Wild. And it has been almost a week since I've talked any Eagles, and you know why? And I'm going to get right to it. That's because the Philadelphia Eagles made history last week in their second preseason game against the New England Patriots. Now, look, I have no statistical evidence to prove this theory that they made history, or this fact that they made history. But the fact of the matter is, the Philadelphia Eagles had the worst preseason game in the history of preseason games in any sport, in any league, and especially in the NFL. That game was absolutely atrocious. I can't even call that a real NFL game, and we have seen some really bad games here lately, especially in the preseason. I mean, let's face it, preseason games are never good. You don't go into a game or a preseason game expecting to see a great shootout or a great game, and the scores really mean nothing at the end. You're basically analyzing some of the players that are on the bubble, or how maybe your first team offense looks, or how your first team defense looks. You got absolutely none of that with this game against the New England Patriots. And I tried to do a live stream that day. It's since been deleted because, like the game, it was horrible. And I thought everything was going to be great. I mean, I'm watching a lot of the stuff from the pregame. Of course, this is in Philly. I wanted to see Devonta Smith, who was going to play, that we heard before the game started. Devonta Smith was actually going to play in this game. And I'm really excited to see him and Jalen Hurts, the chemistry that they have. As a matter of fact, Jalen Hurts pregame, and we all saw it. You guys have all saw the clip. Jalen Hurts sitting there dancing. I mean, he was throwing passes, dancing. He looked great. I couldn't wait. I was psyched for a preseason game. I mean, I had visions of McNabb T.O. against Baltimore before the 2004 season. And then the game starts, and I see not number 1, but number 7, Joe Flacco, with a bunch of second-tier offensive linemen and our starting wide receivers, and it just went downhill from there. Flacco couldn't do anything. I think it was Luke Jorga was lined up at center, or Nate Herbig. I don't know. I can't even remember at this point. The ball sails over Flacco's head. It's a turnover, and it's a 35-0 ass whooping in the preseason. Again, scores don't mean anything. Who cares? But it is a little bit concerning that, number one, you can't score any points with any of your guys, like even the second or third string guys. And look, for a lot of the game, it was the Patriots' first team against the Eagles' third team. I think that is a huge point in all of this. Let's not forget that happened. It was first string Bill Belichick Patriots against third string Philadelphia Eagles, and it was just nasty. But the fact that they couldn't score a point, it just concerns me a little bit. And I'm not taking anything away from that. We all know about preseason. We remember 2015, Sam Bradford and the Philadelphia Eagles, DeMarco Murray going to Lambeau Field and absolutely whooping the shit out of the Green Bay Packers. Didn't mean anything in the season, because 15 was one of the worst seasons you ever saw. We all know about the Lions going 4-0 in the preseason and then 0-16 in the regular season. It means squat. But what really irritated me, and why I'm talking about this right now for longer than I thought I would, is because how do you say Jalen Hurts had a stomach ache? That was what? He got sick with a stomach ache. That's why Joe Flacco came in, because he had a stomach ache. He had to go to the hospital. Jalen Hurts said in a press conference yesterday that if there's a regular season game, he will play. I kind of feel like it's bullshit. I kind of feel like you're putting the wool over the fans' eyes because you wanted people to still show up to the game. Obviously, if Jalen Hurts isn't playing, now none of your starting offensive linemen are going to play. They had the defensive guys in street clothes. Everybody was being real cute. Landon Dickerson in his overalls. I just think it was a joke, and I think it was a bunch of crap. And I get it. If Jalen Hurts is in there and he gets hurt in the third snap of the game in a meaningless preseason game, then the whole season is for naught. But when you see guys like Pat Mahomes out there, still playing in the preseason. When you see Bill Belichick still having his starting quarterbacks, whichever one that's going to be, Cam Newton or Mac Jones, still in the game. And then Jalen Hurts, who played a total of 3.5 games last year, not getting any snaps. I get it. It might not mean anything, but it just doesn't give me a good feeling. Now, all week long we heard, the Eagles beat the Patriots in practice. The Eagles were 2-0 against the Patriots in practice. And now I'm hearing they're 4-0 in joint practices with 2 great practices against the Jets. Guys like ESP, just stop it with this 4-0 crap, like with this winning practice. When did that become a thing? I don't ever remember that being a thing in the past. I get it. Joint practices are like they're the big term now. Joint practices are mean more than preseason games because the starters play more. That might be true. Say they had a good practice. Say they looked a little bit better than the Patriots or the Jets. But when you say they won practice and they lose 35-0 in a preseason game, it's just stupid. Just stop it with the winning practice thing, okay? There is no practice playoffs. There is no practice Super Bowl, okay? It just irritates me and it's annoying, okay? So with that being said, the Eagles went to Jersey and they played, they had joint practices against the Jets. 2 really good practices for the Eagles. Everywhere I look, even the beat writers from the Jets say that the Eagles look like the better team. Jalen Hurts, while being a little bit inconsistent, still played well. Devonta Smith had some good practices. The defense looks absolutely dominant. And I know that's not saying much because it is against a Jets team that doesn't have much talent. But the Eagles are doing their thing. They're putting the work in at these joint practices. As much as I'll complain about a meaningless preseason game, got to give them props for the work that they're putting in. Also, please, and this is, I'm trying to tell myself this as well, Nick Sirianni has said over and over and over and over again, the one advantage they have going into Atlanta is that nobody has seen what schemes are going to run, rather defensively or offensively. So I get it. And I get that Friday we're going to see much of the same vanilla and as plain as you can get when it comes to calling plays. I mean, this is like novice level Madden, what they're going to be throwing out there, because this is an Eagles team that if they can get an advantage, they're going to take it, and I agree with that. So be ready for another bad preseason game on Friday. With that being said, all the beat writers, all the reporters, all the media has been asking Nick Sirianni all week, will Jalen Hurts play Friday? Will the starters play? Do you want to see them get some chemistry? Because it's going to be 16 days before they play against Atlanta. Of course, the NFL getting rid of that 4th preseason game and making that an extra game in the season is the reason for that. And Nick just keeps saying, he pretty much is saying no, they're not going to play. And look, it is what it is. He has his reasons. I mean, but they're probably not going to play. So again, you're going to see a bunch of crap on Friday. Hopefully the Eagles, because again, it's going to be vanilla, and they're going to have third string guys and guys that are probably going to be working at Lowe's or Walmart. Nothing wrong with that, by the way, after final cuts go. So with that being said, I mean, I've ranted about this team so far in that preseason game Thursday. I still can't get over it. Just seeing Jalen Hurts doing the dance and then not playing and then going to the hospital and the whole charade, the whole circus. And I understand the Eagles were the most injured team last year and the year before. And Howie Roseman and Jeffrey Lurie, I mean, they're probably clenching their buttholes thinking about every snap that's taken that another big-time player is going to get hurt for this team. They obviously don't want to go through that. And I get you don't want to get Jalen Hurts hurt because you need to see what you got in the guy. You have to. And that's going to tell you what you're going to do next offseason with these draft picks. And are you going to get a quarterback from college? Are you going to trade for a quarterback? Is Jalen Hurts the guy? You got to know that. You got to find that out. I get it. Makes sense. Still, the fact that they had the worst preseason game in the history of all preseason games still annoys me today. And that brings me, guys, to my biggest question this offseason. The biggest question I have going into Friday's preseason game and into the future of Philadelphia Eagles football for the 2021 season. It's a question that should be in all of your minds, and it simply is, what is up with Joe Flacco's small football helmet? this is something I can't get over either. I'm watching that horrible game Thursday, and it looks like he's wearing a child's football helmet. I mean, it's so tight on his head. It's so different than all the rest of the guys' helmets. He looks like a Madden creative character or creative player. It just looks so bad. It looks so stupid. Like, what is the point? Is it a regulated helmet? Is there a reason why his helmet is so tight around his head? I mean, it just looks ridiculous. Why on earth would anybody wear a football helmet like this? I mean, it reminds me of like a punter or a kicker. It doesn't look like a quarterback, and God forbid he gets sacked and gets hit in the head. I feel like the helmet is going to absolutely disintegrate like Thanos snapping his fingers, or it's going to break into a million pieces. I just don't get it. It annoys me every time I see it. It gets to me. I know, it's Joe Flacco's helmet. Why do I care? That's where we are, guys. That is where we are. With that being said, it is yet to be determined if I'm going to do a live stream on Friday's game. Probably not, but it is going to be the last live action we have for 16 games. Why do I keep saying that? 16 days. So we'll see how that goes. Also, guys, new venture here on ENN. If you've noticed, the Sopran Bros with myself and Zach the Ripper Comics reviewing all 86 of The Sopranos TV series, all 86 of those episodes. Sopranos, one of the best TV series of all time, coming out with a movie in October, and we're going to go straight to that, as well as a lot of other different things here on this channel as we get ready to open bar 4133 for the 2021 football season. Can't wait. Summer is winding down. Sorry to see it go, but I'm getting ready to watch some football for once, some actual football with fans. It's going to be awesome. With that being said, stay safe, guys. Stay hydrated. Go Birds, and I'll see you later.
E-A-G-L-E-S, Eagles! E-A-G-L-E-S, Eagles!
I need Eagle Nation to stand.